Yes!
I kind of.
This next song is called Vanilla Skies. Um, I wrote Vanilla Skies also at the beginning of my guitar journey. I was doing this artist development course by a lady called Carrie Cole, and in one of the classes, she mentions um, how much creativity is available to us creatives. It's everywhere. Every living moment is inspiring. And she said, in books, in movies, in conversations, there's so much inspiration everywhere. Take from that, write about it. And I was like, bet, I will do exactly that. So I was going through Netflix and I see a movie called Vanilla Skies, and I was like, that's beautiful. That would make a beautiful song title. So I left it there. And then one day I was at my friend Sahela's and I started playing this. Hmm? And I asked her, hey, Sahela, does that sound cool? And she says, yeah, that sounds amazing. And I kind of put two and two together. And what it ended up becoming was a song about, a song born out of retrospect. Us as human beings, we'll end up, we date each other, and at the end of a relationship, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm the kind of person where I'm like, oh, you know, it would be cool. It would be cool if me and her did this, or me and them, you know. It'd be cool if we did this, but I'm also super forgetful. So I'll write it down in like a little notebook, or I'll put it in my phone, and it'll build, and over the months and years, I'll be checking them off, because, you know, I want to do things with this person. But then now, at the end of a relationship, you people are not together anymore. So now what do you do with this list of things that you intended to do with somebody that is probably still very special to you? So I kind of just converse with myself in this song about that. So this is Vanilla Skies, and I hope you like it. We made a list of places we would kiss and buy matching things for when we get lonely. And you told me this, you said I was your only wish, but that wasn't true. Because you sold me lies, like vanilla skies, with oceans in reverse, summer's sunrise. Couldn't see through your disguise, and that's what really hurts. What to do, I've got this list but lost you. Should I wine and dine with friends of mine, I'm trying to fill up a space, but you I can't replace. Filled with deep regret, but I won't forget that you sold me lies. lies like vanilla skies with oceans in reverse, summer sunrise. Couldn't see through your disguise, and that's what really hurts. Oh. You sold me lies like vanilla skies with oceans in reverse, summer sunrise. Rise, couldn't see through your disguise, and that's what really hurts. It really hurts. Music was a gift, a blessing that out of, not necessarily out of necessity, but out of curiosity and wonder, I ended up learning more things within it. I started developing skills. This gift of mine then developed skills, I guess. And it's a thing I am incredibly passionate about. I love it, and my love for it keeps me going. And I think with anything I do in this life, and anything any of you should do in this life, love doing it. Because at the very least, that regardless of how upset you are, how much is weighing you down, you can show up to this thing, and even for a moment, because there's been moments for me where I'm not feeling my best. And in that same breath, I'll go to a show and somebody will inspire me, and immediately my whole mindset has just shifted. Or I'll be asked to perform, and as much as I'm not feeling it, I'll slowly grow into the performance. Or somebody in the crowd will say something funny, and my whole perspective on life will shift so quickly in that moment. And I think that's a wonderful thing for anyone to have. You be in a space where you love being there so much, even at your worst. You still show up, and you're still inspired. You are loved, you are so many good things, you know? Experience and knowledge base, I think. Right now I'm working with a lot of very learned artists, very seasoned artists. They've been doing this for years. Yeah, I just stepped in a few days ago, man. In hearing, you hear the experience in conversation, in communication, it's the ease of it all. Being able to say, hey, okay, this is what we're doing. We need this person to do this role, let's do these songs, let's arrange them in this way, let's do this, let's do that. It's very honed, it's very fine-tuned, it's nice. It's a brilliant space to be in. I don't think being young is a challenge. Case in point, let's say artists that are younger than me, let's say Lil Minor. Like, being young has nothing to do with your success. It's either you have it or you don't have it. You either have, by have it I don't mean like talent, I mean have everything you need in a moment to give yourself a fighting chance for success. connections, cash, talent. It's facts. Connections, cash, talent, creativity, so many things. So being young has, yeah, yeah. Comes in handy. And it pays. It pays to know people, to be friendly with people. Yeah, it's a currency. You take it for granted sometimes. Then all of a sudden somebody is calling you like, hey, I've been approached with this thing and I thought you'd be great for it. And just like that, your whole life can change because you met one person at a show, at an event, at a get together, meet and greet. Don't take it for granted. I think it pays to know things in the musical industry. It pays to know what you're doing. Also because you don't want to get conned. Some of us have gotten into, shady-ish situations. Yeah. We don't talk about Bruno then. We don't talk about Bruno. The past is in the past. I do not hold that grudge. It was tough. It was tough. I wish I lost self-esteem. I lost cash, and already I'm not making that much. So it's like, you know how it's hand to mouth? It hasn't even reached my mouth. It's like I've gotten food. Oh, okay. It was several years ago at the beginning of my musical career. I just found myself in a space where I'm recording a lot of music, but a lot of the music isn't coming out, and that became very frustrating and unfortunate. We had a deal of sorts, but it all just fell out of place, so to speak. No hard feelings though. No hard feelings. But it was just a part of the process. It wasn't even a bad experience. It's just an experience. Spaces I've been privileged to perform in. I've done a lot of shows. One that comes to mind immediately is I performed at Nairobi R&B, which at that time was at Blue Door in Westlands. That was a wonderful gig. More than once this year, I've been able to perform at the Mawimbi Seafood Restaurant. It's a very beautiful place. It's very nice, poolside, kind of cold. Great cocktails. Good stuff. But beyond that, I don't think there's many in particular that I have in mind or hold in mind. I do look forward to a lot of other shows I'll end up doing. But yeah, those are the ones that come to mind immediately. There's a volume. There's a lot of them. My name is Geoffrey. Okay, no. My name is Ivan Thomas Maali. Funnily enough, for I'll say majority of my life, I didn't like my last name. I didn't hate it, I just felt nothing towards it. We'll get to the meaning behind it, it's crazy. So for many a year, it's just a name that's there. I don't even use that one. From like standard one, my mom had been writing on my books, Ivan Thomas. So that's the name the names I identified with more. Sometimes I genuinely forget that I had the third name. And I'm the only one in my family that has that last name. So now when I was stepping into being a musician and trying to be my most genuine self as a musician, I started asking myself, what should I name myself? And coincidentally around that time I was like, wait, but this last name is kind of cool. I think I kind of like it. I'm growing in appreciation for it. So like I changed my Instagram handle to I think Maali Ivan or something. In the same breath, I was like, no, let me do even better. The name that I have disregarded for all of this time, let that be the name that people call me by. Call me by that name. No. What it means is a whole other story. So for many a year, I would ask my mom, hey, what does my name mean? And I think the first time I asked her, she said, I don't know. And I was like, wait, you gave me a name and you don't know what it means. Okay, so then at some point I asked her and she said, oh no, actually I think I've remembered. It means, I think, It's either either it means a blessing or it's a form of exclamation. Like it's like saying wow, but in a Ugandan language. Then, somewhere last year, if not this year, I go to this my usual barber shop. And there's a new guy that's there. He's like, bro, sit at my seat, sit at my seat. And I was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna wait for my guy. He said, no, trust me, trust me. And I said, okay, I'll trust you. You got me, I'll trust you. So I sit down, we start talking to each other. I find out he's from Uganda, and I'm like, perfect. What does Maali mean? M-A-A-L-I. He's like, from what general area? I'm like, maybe the Kampala-ish area. He's like, oh, okay. I think it means fish. And I was like, fish? No. So, no. I'm Ivan Thomas Fish. Oh, no. I got home so upset. I laughed the entire way home, but I was so upset. I was like, why would you name your child Fish? It does not mean fish, but I'm not entirely sure what it means at this point. I just choose to believe it does not mean fish. So yeah, that is why I am called Maali. Why I am at my name is Maali on all socials. That's because my intro, the intro I do at the beginning of most of my shows, if not all of my shows, is that, hey everybody, my name is Maali. So I was like, it's like right there. Let me just that works. That works for me. It was me, it was my mom, my sisters, and I. My mom had at that time remarried, and because of that, they had work in tourism in Tanzania, and the business was thriving around that time, so it was good. We were doing well. They were doing well. I was just living there. So that is why we moved to Arusha, and we stayed there for many years. But then why we ended up coming back to this side especially is because at a point, the Tanzanian, I guess, government or specific people were bothering us, knowing that we are Kenyan, etc., etc. And in addition to that, I think it was it Ebola? So Ebola did a number on the tourism industry. Wow. Like, it's one of those things, I ended up realizing a lot of things I took for granted as far as my parents' work was concerned. I got used to them having these big stacks of files, like one client, another client, they were just huge. And that thing really went down. The idea was like, hey, are we okay? Are we fine? But yes, that is the reason why we moved. I genuinely enjoyed the time I spent there. Met a lot of wonderful people. I got to do a lot of wonderful things. Like at 13 or 12, I got to climb Kilimanjaro. That was nuts. It's nuts. I suggest that everybody goes. It's exhausting, but it's fun. It's fun with company, but a lot of things are fun with company. Yeah. Shout out to my barber, the guy that said my name is a fish. No. Hey everybody, my name is Maali. I am so glad that you guys are here, that you are watching this, that you have learned all of this about me. A special shout out to my friends, my loved ones, my mom, my sisters, the guys that make anime, because y'all are keeping me going. Shout out to Bruno Major, Ed Sheeran, and everybody. At the beginning of my journey as a songwriter, I was a bit I'm trying not to lie to you good people at home. As an artist, I still have moments where I am not sure of my writing. It happens all the time. I kind of fluctuate between a very, very strong and deeply rooted confidence in my writing to being like maybe I pushed it too far this time, or maybe I'm trying too hard to sound like something, but also in the moment of me writing this, I was writing it in full confidence and in full, this is now just self-doubt that's crept in after. But I suppose the self-doubt in itself has shrunk over time, which I am thankful for. At the beginning, I was just freestyling it, man. I was freestyling it. Right now, I don't know. I love how I write music right now. I'm thankful for all of the different artists that have inspired me to the point that I write in the way that I write. Like, for example, I love this artist called Bruno Major. JP Sachs as well. I like how they communicate about the things going on in their lives, how they feel, how they express. That to me is a beautiful thing, because it's like, I like how somebody can say something so simple, but it hits home. It's so simple, but it's like, how did you communicate this very complicated feeling and experience in such a very simple way? I think that is amazing, and I'd want to paint that picture for everybody that listens to my music, where it's like as much as you've experienced it, if you close your eyes, you're living it with me in a way. You're going through the thought process with me. We're all in this together. For example, what's this song? Not by Bruno Major. Okay, Bruno Major. One of Bruno Major's songs that I really like is called "Nothing," where he says, "There's nothing like doing nothing with you," which is a very realistic thing. It's like, sometimes you're in a relationship with somebody and it's like, some days we're not gonna do anything crazy. We're doing nothing today, but we're doing nothing together, and that's cool. JP Sachs, on the other hand, sang, he sings, "You're not mine anymore, but I'm still a little bit yours," which is another very realistic thing for me and my experience, where you are no longer with somebody, or they, as much as they may no longer feel like they are with you, you feel like a tiny bit still there. So I don't know. To hear that kind of thing, I'm like, yeah, I felt it, I thought it, but I wasn't able to communicate it, and you were able to, and that's really cool. Yeah, I like to tell stories. I genuinely, much as it was kind of annoying at points that you can't leave a certain area around you, the COVID season for my creativity and for my growth as an artist, phenomenal. Jet fuel to a burning fire. Within COVID, I did the artist development course. I learned, I was shown structure in how an artist develops from the first projects, or even from further, because it started from somebody that doesn't know music, isn't good at music. How are you going to practice that? How are you going to get to a point where, okay, you need a vocal coach, you need a piano coach, you release your first EP, this is kind of the expectation you can have around that. When you release your first album, what members of your team you should have along this entire journey. Know that at some point you'll be doing well for yourself, but still feel like you have plateaued in a way. That is a point where a lot of artists give up. Don't give up, keep going. There's just so much content in that, like, what, 1 month or 2 month program. I learned so much, so much. From that I started doing the vocal practices, the guitar practice, guitar as well. I didn't own a guitar, but my grandparents did, and like the guitar had just always been there and nobody is using it, and I was like, man, since I'm being locked into the house, I might as well be locked into the house, and I'm learning something. So I asked them for their guitar. I started learning how to play the guitar. As soon as I finished the artist development course, as I'm doing guitar, I decided I'm gonna learn film. I love film. I'm gonna do a course on that, and I did a course. It was a course by the British Council, maybe? Okay, I can't remember what it's called. Something like an NFTS, the National Film and Television School. Yes. From that I learned about the process of that kind of artistic and creative process, from pre-production to production to post-production, who's doing what, whose roles are what, why certain things are filmed in certain ways, lenses, terminologies, all of these different things. Even how to do like how-tos, like for these more like these soft lights, how to do a how-to of sorts just from within your home. And I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute of it. My biggest takeaway from that is that, I don't know, at least I know within myself that I am capable of doing whatever I want to do, provided, okay, I don't have to enjoy doing it, but it is all the better if I do enjoy it. I am limitless. I am limitless. I am wildly creative. I'm wildly interested in the creative spaces. Hello, my name is Ivan Thomas, and this is Citizen at 9. Jokes aside. More recently, a friend of mine, let's say maybe a few months ago, a friend of mine asked me, "Hey, who are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Ivan." He's like, No, that's your name. Who are you?" I'm like, Margaret Manasseh's son. No, that's who you. That's what you are to somebody else. Who are you? And we just kept going and going and going. I'm like, I'm a guy that lives in Nairobi. What do you want from me? What do you want? This is a very jarring question. And I rolled around that question for a while, and at some point I gave up, and I think I was at a very tricky mental space, and I was asked myself that question now for the first time. Who am I? I just Googled that. And I found some very relaxing perspective on that, on identity. The person said, in essence, the person said, up until the point that we die, we are constantly adding more to ourselves, removing the excess, adding what is necessary, removing what is unnecessary, pretty much, in all aspects of our lives. So really, that is not a question you can ask yourself and should ask yourself regularly or ever. Who you are is completed at the time of your death, so to speak. On that note, let's go into life. I think life is a beautiful thing. I think it's also a very tricky thing. It can be a very chaotic thing, but we learn to live with the chaos, live in the chaos, but to be less morbid. I enjoy living. It's not always great, but even in essence, what I'm trying to say is, even in the darkness, there's always a silver lining. Even at my most anxious, one of my loved ones will say something or do something. They'll make a joke, and that'll break it, and then I'm back. I'm okay again. In general, I'm a very joyful person, I guess. Much as I am chill and low-key and all of those other things. That is how I view life. There are certain things about life that I use and do for myself and think mindset-wise that help. For example, I was telling Bakita this earlier how at a point in my life, around when I was 17, I kept seeing this word, or this set of words, Memento, mori. I'd see them in comics, I'd see them as the title of a random episode somewhere, I'd see them online. I just kept seeing these two words put together, and at some point I just broke, and I was like, what is this? So I searched it, and I find out that Memento Mori is Latin for remember you will die. And the essence of that is, yes, you're going through, at present you are going through something, but remember at all times, and keep a reminder around you that you are mortal. You have a reminder of your mortality, of the fleeting nature of this life, so to speak. Remember, keep in mind that as much as you're going through this thing, as much as you might be jamming over this thing has frustrated you, it's like at the end of the day, you're going to die. So is it really worth your happiness in this moment? I think it's beautiful, and it made me feel very relaxed, very okay. Recently I found out there is a continuation to it. There's Memento mori, then Amor, fati. So remember you will die, but love your fate. Regardless of whatever that may be, regardless of whatever cards you are dealt, that is still what is yours. And it is yours and yours alone. The concept of wabi-sabi, I think, is also really cool. I am a minimalist as well, but back to wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi in essence is, it's a Japanese concept that is hard to explain, but if I were to try, it's like most people see a full moon, a sunrise, a sunset, flowers in bloom, and these perfect moments, these picturesque moments that we have been shown since we were children, you know, led to believe that, it was a sunrise, a beautiful sunrise. Wabi-sabi is kind of like a mindset that teaches you that a gray cloudy day can be beautiful as well. That most things experience a passage of time. They wear out, they expire, they get dense, but you should learn to appreciate that as well, I guess. I've done a poor job, but it's okay. So yeah, that's what I think about life. I think life is cool. People say funny things. Twitter is fun. There's a lot to live for, and there's a lot that is discouraging, there's a lot that is underwhelming, there's a lot that just makes you want to cry, and crying is fine, but it's still fun. At least for me, I love the people that I am around. I love it to experience lots of things with them. I think that's another thing that motivates me, keeps me going, knowing that I can see my friends. I'm a very friend person. It's shown in the entirety of the interview. Like in TZ, it's the friends. Out of TZ, it's the friends. I don't know what to say, honestly. I love love. I love being loved. I love loving. I have a lot of love to give. That is a song by Sahela, my friend. You should listen to it on all platforms. Shameless plug, shameless plug. Love, like life, is a beautiful thing. It is filled, and it is capable of bringing out so much within you and around you. Love is a crazy thing, just like life. From love, a lot of positives and a lot of negatives can come out, and that's also fine. It's part of the package. When you dive into it, that's what you signed up for, buddy. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's no point beating yourself up about it after, because it's like, oh man, this as much as it's not the ideal scenario that I imagined, it is what it is, So just remember you'll die. So it's like, bro, chill out. But yeah, give love to everybody you can, to the people that are watching this. I don't know, do your best whenever you can. I pray that you are all receiving love from somewhere, if not from anyone or anyone in particular, at least from yourself. That's important. Be kind to yourself. That is an act of love, I think. Don't be harsh on yourself. Just chill. It's okay. You're gonna die anyways, so. Don't give up. Don't give up, guys. I don't know. Okay, no, I'm not so. You guys are going through it. I know whoever you are listening to this, you're going through it. So you don't have to listen to me. Do what is best for you. But that is something that I would say to myself. And right now I am saying it to myself, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't want to give up. Can be frustrating and annoying what I do, but I love it. I really love it. I love every moment of it. Okay, not every moment. If I loved every moment, I wouldn't be saying this, if I'm being honest. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. be compassionate, be empathetic. Um, try your best. Remember that your best in every given moment is your best, and that's fine. To do your best and then beat yourself up about it after doesn't make sense, as much as we do it all the time. But it's like, with what you are given, the cards you were dealt, you did what you could do, and what you got out of it is whatever you got out of it, and you just keep trying again and again and again. Take breaks as well. Breaks are important, whether they be breaks from people, whether they be social media breaks, whether they be little getaways. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, anything far, anything super expensive, but remember to treat yourself in some way, shape or form. Buy things that you enjoy. Eat good food. Food is great. Food is phenomenal. Buy achari. Achari is a God-sent snack from God. Sent from God, my God. Here, achari is crazy. Shout out to the Muslim ladies outside Jamia Mosque in town, providing for the good people. My only critique of you would be, can you get me bigger sizes? I like the product. I want it American. I want it bigger. Please. But yeah, jokes. Make lots of jokes. At least for me, that helps in everything I do. Listening to jokes, giving out jokes. Just make yourself laugh. Laughter truly is the best medicine, or a good medicine at the very least. Everybody has their own thing, if you know what I'm saying. Everybody has their medicine. It's okay. Mine is laughing at ridiculously stupid jokes that a lot of people won't laugh at, but it's okay, because I like them. And that's all I need for me to like them. On all social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram especially, I am at, my name is Maali, that's M-A-A-L-I, Maali. It may be the same thing when I'm releasing music later this year, or it might just be Maali. I'm kind of figuring it out, but either way, you'll find me. And yeah, look for, please follow me. Stay tuned. A lot of great things are coming out soon. Either way, shout out to the African creative, my boy, my homie Roy, for this wonderful experience. I've had a great time here. I am going to suggest a lot of other artists to come and be on this platform. I look forward to being here all the time because it's right down the road from my house. But either way, I'm going to be here a lot. So that last song was Vanilla Skies. Like I had said, I'm kind of just trying to make sense of it for myself. Like, guy, wanted to go to like Panari, you know, little roller rink, ice skate, you know. Wanted to go on a romantic getaway, Airbnb, wapi, you know. But then now that the relationship is over, I'm asking myself, what am I supposed to do with all of this now? Do I take myself out? Is that self-love? Is that how it works? Or do I go with my friends? Like, what's going on? What's going on? What do I do now? Do I just delete the thing and pretend it never happened? Do I carry it forward? God. But yeah, that was Vanilla Skies. My next and final song is called Hold a Grudge. Hold a Grudge was also written in an interesting way, in the sense that I was listening to a song by Kelani, and in verse 2, she says, I can't hold you anymore, so I'll hold a grudge. And when I was listening to it, I was like, yo, whoa, that's fire. That's crazy. I was like, how is that not the entirety of the song? And you just said that you said something so magnificent, I guess. And then you're just gonna move on to the next line like it didn't happen. I was so mad. So I was like, let me write this down in my phone, hold a grudge. Then one day I'll come back to it. And just like Vanilla Skies, I found a way of playing it. I found a new, I guess, chord progression or whatever. And I was like, these two match up together. Let me write the song. And as I'm writing the song, I was like, I don't want to just write words that are attached to melody. I want this to be more personal. If it's more personal, whenever I sing the song, I'll be singing from a very genuine place. So I started thinking about myself. And I was like, okay, Maali, Ivan, Thomas, whatever I refer to myself as, you aren't a very angry person. You aren't somebody that holds on to hatred. I barely feel the feeling of hatred. I don't know if I genuinely have in this life. Because, I don't know, I feel like hate is a very strong word in the same way love is. But anyways, that's another story for another time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not a very angry person. But very, very few times in my life have people really, really pushed my buttons, and they've pushed me and they've pushed me, and they've really worn me out to the point that I'm just like so finished. I'm like, you know what, it's beef, but it's beef forever. I'm holding the grudge. I'm holding the grudge for the both of us. You don't know. You pushed the bull. You know, I'm a Taurus, as I said in the first song. So yeah, this is my very angry song, Hold a Grudge. And I hope you like it. I've never been the type to start a fight. Cool disposition, some might say I'm nice, but if you test my patience, and I've got a lot, I won't ever forget that unpleasant thought. See, I can hold a grudge longer than you, a grudge. Hold one for two, I can hold a grudge longer than you. I can hold a grudge longer than you, I can hold a grudge. Hold one for two, I can hold a grudge longer than you. You should have known, once bitten, twice shy. You tried me again and you saw the other side. But it was fair, I felt, having my mind set on teaching you that I can hold a grudge longer than you, a grudge. Hold one for two, I can hold a grudge longer than you. I can hold a grudge longer than you, a grudge. Hold one for two, I can hold a grudge longer than you. I messed up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I messed up. I'm just gonna continue, honestly. can hold a grudge longer than you. A grudge. Hold one for two. A grudge longer than you. So that was my last song. Please ignore the little moment I just had, the little accident. It's okay. Of course I'm not gonna curse on camera. I'm not gonna curse. But yeah.